Hey guys, good morning. Let me go and set up this room real quick and then we can get started. It's 6:19 on Wednesday, December 15th. Market is opening in about 11 minutes. So let me get this all set up, then we can get started with our analysis of US 30 in the market for the day. That's good. All right, cool. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium for the Zoom. All right. There we go. Hey guys, morning. It's finishing the setup of the room real quick. It's Wednesday, December 15th right now, 6:21. So market is opening in about 9 minutes. When the market opens, we can confirm our analysis of US 30 and the rest of the market. So guys, give me a few seconds and I'll let a few more people make their way into the room. All right, guys, everything looks good. Looks like we're good to go. All right, guys, morning. Morning, Kenny, morning, Christopher, morning, everyone. Looks like a lot of people are still making their way in, so I'll give it a few more minutes until we get started. Let's see. Yeah, so it's 6:21 right now. We got 9 minutes. So I'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll start taking a look at the news, fundamentals, retail sentiment, then the technical analysis to see where the market is looking for today. There was news this morning, I believe. Let me check. Yeah, so for this morning, we had a couple news events. We had core retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing Index, and import prices. Looks like they were a bit back and forth. So retail sales were negative, while the Empire State Manufacturing Index and import prices were actually up. So looking at that and looking at the chart, the chart was kind of indecisive as well. You can see how price kind of went down and then it went up. The news came out right here at 5:30. And when the news came out, not much really happened. News came out right here at 5:30. And then obviously you can see it's just a sideways movement, no clear direction at all. So the market does open in the next few minutes, it'll probably determine its direction. And my mic's kind of messed up. Not sure if you guys can hear me properly. If the mic keeps going in and out, I'll probably just switch out the mic to just the iMac. Morning, Maria. Morning, Rick. Morning, Randy. Rick said everyone waiting for FOMC statement today. Seems like that's what a lot of people are doing because you can see how price isn't really moving very much, right? When the US market opened today, technically the US market opens at 5:30. The New York Stock Exchange opens at 6:30. So from 5:30 till now, price hasn't really moved very much. So it seems like there's a lot of back and forth movement with regard to US 30 right now. But when the market does open at 6:30, there should be some sort of direction price going. Morning, Fahad. Morning, Rav. Morning, Lorraine. Morning, Lisa. Morning, everyone. Rav said, I did not get any trades on London session. It's been going sideways. I agree. Yeah, that's good. That's a good move there, Rav. I probably wouldn't have traded either because it looks like it's been sideways, all throughout the session. London right here broke down a little bit and some more sideways movement. And even prior to that, it's just been going sideways for the most part. So yeah, probably good that you stayed out of the market for the most part, Rav, because there really isn't much for us to make moves off. Morning, Al. Morning, everyone. So we got a few more people making their way in. It's 6:24 right now, so I'll go ahead and take a look at everything and give a basically a full spectrum of like how the market is moving today. So let's start off with the news. So looking at the news this morning, there was retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing Index, import prices. They're both positive and negative. So a bit of indecisiveness right there with regard to the news, not really one-sided. Going over to retail sentiment, it's currently 54% short, meaning there's not really much of a bias there. 53% now, actually, indicating that 53% of traders, or retail traders to be exact, are on the short side. So it doesn't really show that they're more on the short side or more on the long side. 53% isn't really much of a factor when determining, where the retail traders are, because this can easily go from 53% short to 53% long within a matter of moments. So no real use here for the retail sentiment currently until this reaches probably 65, 75, 80%. So this isn't going to be much of a use to us today. Looking over at the fundamentals, currently right now, it's only down 12 points for the futures data, 5 points now. So this is indecisive as well. There's like no direction being set as we get close to market open. Market is opening in about 5 minutes. When the market does open, there should be a push in one direction or the other. So we'll see what happens there. Currently right now, there really isn't much. So we're not getting much from fundamentals, and we're not getting much from the retail sentiment. Just like Rick said earlier, it seems like a lot of people are just waiting for the FOMC statement to come out later today, which is at 11. And they're going to be discussing the economic projections, the FOMC statement, and the federal funds rate, which will pretty much be covering the inflation news that came out on Tuesday. So we had PPI and core PPI on Tuesday. This is specifically, inflation news here in the U.S. The Fed is going to be speaking on that today with regard to their projections. We're giving out different rates for a lot of things to come for this month. So we'll see what happens then. And hopefully we get some movement until then. If not, we're just going to be a bit conservative because we don't want to be caught in we don't want to be caught on the wrong side when the statement does come out later at 11. So, with that said, we will confirm it when it does give us some confirmations, because obviously there's no confirmations right now. Market is opening in about 3 minutes, so we'll see what happens then when the market does open. Morning, Peter. Morning, Professor. Morning, Al. Morning, David. Yeah, Rick said, which I don't get, because they already said they're going to raise rates. I know it's inevitable. They're going to raise rates regardless. But, obviously people want they want to hear that from the Fed with regard to how that's going to affect the economy, even though, using basic economics, you already know what's going to happen when they raise rates. So I don't know. We'll see. And the thing is, I think that's like the part of the game, right, Rick? Like, because you have a background in finance, like what's going to happen. The thing is, a lot of people are still gambling that the opposite is going to happen, because if it's so obvious to go in one direction, price will probably be manipulated a bit before it gets to that point. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of minutes or so, or not a couple of minutes. The Fed's going to be speaking at 11. We'll see if it actually goes in the direction that it's supposed to go, or if it goes opposite, because what will happen will probably be manipulated price movement, where it goes down, then it goes up, or same situation where it goes up, then it goes down, right? A lot of fake outs. Today is Wednesday, so middle of the week should be a bit smoother, but we'll see what happens in the next couple of minutes or so. Yeah, Rick said trading and reality are two different things. Exactly, Rick. That's why that's why it's better if we don't bring outside information into trading. You kind of just got to see what the market's giving you and make sure that you don't fall for whatever traps you're setting up, because it's a crapshoot. It really is when you're trading. Your analysis could be lined up perfectly, and it could not easily go the opposite way, because it just depends on where the traders are, right? That's why usually we want to go opposite, but right now there's no opposite because everyone's right down the middle. Oh man, I thought I was getting better from being sick. Um, but it just got worse this morning. Last night was actually pretty good, and then this morning. So I'll be muting myself in and out every couple moments, guys, because I got like cough and whatnot. I don't want to cough on the mic. Morning, Dallas. Morning, David. Morning, everyone. All right, guys. So it looks like everyone's here for the most part. Market is opening in about 10 seconds. So we'll see what happens when this opens here. There's not really much of a bias overall. Currently right now, price is dropping. So market is opening in about 2 seconds. And there we go. Market is now open. So looking at current price right here. See as price shoots up over here. Let me take a look at the fundamentals to see where everything's sitting. Refresh that. It's currently bullish, but not very much. It's 25 points in the green. Looking over here at the stock index, the actual stock index, it's pretty much right down the middle, half green, half red. Right, 21 points in the green. So it's technically bullish right here. We'll see what happens right here. In order for us to have a breakout entry, we would need either a strong red candle here, or we would need a green candle with a buy signal. So either a strong green candle with a buy signal or with little to no wick, or a strong red candle here for a sell. I don't think I'll be taking it though, because of how, obviously the stuff we just covered right now. Fed's going to be speaking today. The market hasn't really been going any clear direction. All right, so no entry off that specific candle right there. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to draw a line at market open, which is at 6:30. So if this candle here closes strong bullish, meaning a green candle with the buy signal and little to no wick on the top side, this would be the breakout for a buy. Vice versa, we still have a sell momentum here. So if we get a sell signal with little to no wick on the bottom side, or not a sell signal, but a strong red candle right here, similar to this. If there's little to no wick on the bottom side, then this would be a breakout. However, you got to make sure that you understand that the Asia lows right here. So if price does come down, it can easily bounce right off it. So it's just risky on a lot of different sides here, but we'll see how this candle closes. So this right here wouldn't be the breakout. The reason for that is because it's a big wick. So no entry off that candle right there. Or I mean, no, I wouldn't take it. That wick's still too big. The wick's too big, plus it's rejecting off the Asia low right here. So that wouldn't be the breakout in my perspective. The problem with the breakout, guys, is that it's so subjective, right? What I consider a strong candle is different from other people. If I take all this stuff off the chart, I don't know if you guys would consider that a big wick. I personally would. Some people wouldn't. It's only 80 pips, but it looks like a big wick to me. It's 80 pips, and the body of the candle is only 180 pips. So I wouldn't necessarily take in that trade right there. Some people would, but some people wouldn't. I mean, it just depends on how you guys identify the candlestick patterns. It's, the breakout is just very subjective though. So you guys got to be careful. And you can see right there, price is shooting right back up. That's exactly why I wouldn't take it, because there were a lot of red flags indicating that price to price swing right back up. One of them was that it bounced off the Asia low. Second, the wick was too big. Third, I mean, this whole candle in general is too big compared to the others. So what I'm going to do here is I'll keep watching for the possible breakout. I wouldn't consider that the breakout because, like I mentioned, the wick's too big. But I'll also be marking up the current session high lows as well. All right. So there's a high and there's a low for this specific session so far. Still no breakout. If this candle here closes with a buy signal and it's a strong green bullish candle, then that would be the breakout. It has to be a strong green candle though. It can't be like an invalid candle, or it can't be something with a big wick. If it doesn't happen within this candle or the next one, then there's no breakout, which is completely fine. Because I personally don't like taking the breakout anymore anyways. All right. So it doesn't look like we're getting that green candle right there. This might be the breakout for a sell though. If this closes with little to no wick on the bottom side, this would be a breakout for a sell. Yeah, so this is a breakout for the sell. I don't plan on taking it because it's so close to this Asia low right here. It seems like price keeps like bouncing around that area, but that's the breakout. So as you can see, price is coming down. You guys can take it at your own risk. I'm not taking it myself. I just find it a little risky because the fundamentals are still, well, they're not bullish anymore, but they were. Kind of tempted to take it maybe with a smaller lot size. Let me see if I could. It might be too late. Yeah. I'm not going to hop into that. It's too late. And the reason why I don't want to take it as well, because of London lows here. I knew that London low was going to be close to this point. So the problem with taking this breakout here is that even if it does break below here, it can easily come down and bounce off the London low right here. So it's just too messy of a trade to take from my perspective. So it's not one that I necessarily want to hop into. I'll just be looking for other entries as we continue on. I'm not sure if anyone wants to take this trade here. I'll keep an alert here, but there's just too many red flags, right? The last thing I want to do is take this trade, get caught into it, and it bounces back off the London low right there. So this thing's a breakout. Or it might even hit full TP, who knows? Let's see what happens here. Let's see. Yeah, you guys want to be a bit careful as it drops. And there you go, full TP off that. I actually hopped in myself, but it's not going to count. So we're not going to count that trade, obviously. I hopped in myself when it broke below here. When it broke below here, because this is what I was looking for if it bounced off here. But this is something that you guys would have to know. You have to know how to do this stuff yourself, guys. I hopped in for a quick little entry, just like 100 pips. So I made 1,000 off that. But it's not going to be a trade that's counted, towards results or anything like that. It's just one that I took on my own. Because I saw it when it broke below. Because this is what I was worried about when it came down to this London low. When it broke below here and it started pushing harder, I just hopped in real quick, copped a quick 100 pips, which is right here. And if you guys know what you're doing, you guys can do this as well. But it's not one that I want. And you guys that don't know what you're doing to hop in. So like right there, literally when it closed below there, or when it dropped below there, I hopped in for a quick little move. Let's see. Talanji said, wouldn't the last swing high be a giant variation? Yeah, no, exactly. And I saw that too, Talanji. So if you guys understand the variation, Talanji actually saw exactly what I had noticed too. Because that's what I saw. When I saw price coming down here, I looked back at the previous high, and there was a variation entry right here. Right? It was a double wick rejection off that higher high. And I saw that, and I saw it close below here. And I was just tying, 2 and 2 together. I saw there was a variation entry. I saw price drop below here. It came back for a retracement. Came back below. The thing that I was worried about was this right here, because I didn't want price to bounce off it. When it swung below here, like heavily, that's when I entered that small little move right there. So, no, great identification on that, Talanji. So there's a breakout. We're not going to count this breakout as a trade for the day, but as you can see, the breakout still works out perfectly fine. I caught like a small move of it down here because a lot of the confirmations that I was looking for played out. But yeah, it's fine. If you guys didn't catch it, I wasn't expecting you guys to catch it at all. A lot of this stuff, it moves way too fast where you can't really, you have to know what you're doing to, hop into these last minute trades. But yeah, I made a quick little 1,000 off that. Not much, but I guess I could post it for you guys in a little bit. I'll post it later when we take the next trade. But I just made a quick profit off that there. All right, so we'll be looking for some entries here. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to put the strategies up here. All right, so we got this right here. Nice work, Rick. Yeah, Rick caught some profit off that too. Let's see. Oh, whoops, wrong one. All right, so we got the strategies here lined up for these three. As you can see, the lows is dropping further and further below. And we'll see where it goes from there. So as it drops lower and lower, I'll just keep dropping the session low lower. Go back to this clean chart over here. This is a clean chart from yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and just draw the markups over here as well. 6:30 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 12 can't be drawn yet. So actually I could, or no, it's too early. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'll draw the high here. Draw the low right here. Opening price is going to be right there. All right, so here's a clean chart for US 30 for the day. Obviously, price is dropping right there. We'll go back over here. These are the strategies that we're looking at. I'll drop this a bit lower. Since we had this breakout off open, this is normal. This is the breakout that we were looking for the breakout entry. Now we're just looking for price going consolidation and then break out into another area. So over here on the 3-minute, we have both of the 3-minute strategies, the daily and pivot scalp. So looking at these right here, no entries yet off the 3-minute. We'll go to the 10-minute over here, but everything is bearish. Obviously, you guys can see map from this point. This is going to be the snipe strategy. Let's see if there's any zones around this area. All right. So no current zones right now. I mean, technically this would be a snipe right here. This most recent candle. So these two right here are both snipes. You can see how they rejected off the pivot and structure right there. We had a sell signal. So looking at the requirements right here, these both would be snipes. They both would have hit full TP already though, so it's too late. But this one's still currently running, but it's probably gonna hit eventually. So this snipe right here and this snipe right here, and these are all snipes. Literally all these trades right here are snipes because you can see the wick rejection off the pivot and structure, wick rejection off the pivot and structure. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 entries right here, all for snipes. And they all hit full TP for 500 pips. So those look good right there, but I mean, obviously it's not one that we're, that we're necessarily looking at this moment because it's too late. This closed out about 4 minutes ago. Going over to the daily over here. If you guys saw the daily entry yesterday, it hit full TP. That's one that we took yesterday as well. Going over to today, there's no daily entry yet. So yeah, no entries all around. Let's see, I'm gonna move this a little bit lower. Same with this one right here. So as you can see, price is going to consolidation now. as it goes sideways, which is completely fine. We want price going to consolidation so we can catch it as it breaks out of the consolidation phase or range into another direction. Yeah, Maddie saw that right now. He said the 10-minute snipe was running. It's still currently running right now as well. Yeah, so that would have been good if, whoever caught that. I don't usually use a snipe as much anymore. This was mainly a strategy that I used during Asia session. It's just hard to keep track of like so many strategies at once during New York session, right? Because I'm trading the 1 minute, 3 minute, 10 minute, and the other 10 minute for the daily. So I personally can't really follow it as well as I would during Asia because it's really slow. But it does work perfectly fine during New York too. You kind of just have to keep track of it, and you also have to identify, where things become risky. So as you can see, price is still dropping for US 30. Let me check CNBC real quick to see if there's any news. So it says the Federal Reserve is expected to take a very big step towards a rate hike. So yeah, I mean, this is probably what's causing, a lot of people are identifying this and anticipating this big move here. With regards to the rates. So, pretty much just like what Rick was saying earlier, that, rates are going to increase, which I do see. Obviously, who's going to pay the bill here in the US, us, with the rates. So we'll see what happens when the Fed does speak, but they don't speak for like another like 6 hours or so, or 5 hours at 11. So we'll see what happens when that comes out. But I mean, looking at the indexes right now, we're all pretty much red. Looking at the Dow, it's down 130 points. S&P is down 8 points. NASDAQ's down 50 points. Russell 2K is currently up less than 1 point, and the VIX is up less than 1 point as well. So pretty much overall, things just look red for the most part. Looking over here at US 30, it's currently down 130 points. Looking over here at the actual stock index, refreshing this. Currently majority red, right? Goldman Sachs is down 7 points. Boeing is currently down 4.3. American Express is currently down 3.5. Caterpillar down 2.6. Chevron down 2.06. Walt Disney down 1.7. Visa down 1.4. JP Morgan 1.4. Travelers 1 point. And the green stocks right here, of course. But for the most part, the market is pretty red. So we'll see what happens right now shortly. And then we'll see what happens here if there's any entries that come up. But currently right now, there's no entries off the 1 minute. There's no entries off the 3 minute. There's no entries off the 10 minute. Actually, the snipe just hit full TP. We're not going to count that trade, obviously. I'm going to try to be as 100% clear with you guys. Just because we're looking at trades here doesn't mean that we're counting these as results for the day, right? Because I don't understand where people get that thought process where they think, oh, just because we identified something, it's going to be counted as a trade. If we did that with all of the trades that actually did come up using any of the strategies, there'd be so many trades to be posted. But if you guys have been following lately, there hasn't been much because we've been a bit conservative with our entries here, which, for good measures, because the market is risky at this moment with so much stuff going on in the market, COVID, inflation, Fed, Christmas coming up next week. It's just a lot of red flags in the market for you guys to be aware of, causing price to move like in certain ways. So yeah, we'll close that off. We have another one here. I'll look at it, but currently right now, it doesn't look like we're going to have another entry for the snipe anytime soon because the pivots are way up here. The price is way down here. So we're probably going to keep off this chart for a bit. We'll probably be looking at the daily and 3 minute and 1 minute, most 1 minute, because this is where most of the movement is going to likely be happening throughout the session. Sam said today they announced inflation is up in the UK, highest it's been in 10 years. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, Sam, right? Inflation is going up everywhere. They got to make up for COVID, the last 2 years. Well, especially here in the US, we're already in so much debt. We're even more debt now because of COVID. But we'll see. So you can see price here trying to swing back up. This is completely fine because now that price has swung up like that, it's perfect because it created a range for us. So as you can see right there, we now have a pending range. right over there. So as you can see, price is now ranging and consolidating within this area. This is perfect because this is what we wanted so that we can catch price either break below here or break above here. Looking at this right here, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no low that's been established yet, and there's no high that's been established. It's still pending, but once it does close, we can take it. All right. So let's see what happens next. But yeah, currently there's nothing on the 3-minute, nothing on the 1-minute. Here's a clean chart over here. I'll smooth this down a little lower. So on the clean chart here, I'll just pretty much draw the same zones and stuff, but I won't leave anything else on here so that you guys can see how price is moving. So looking over here at the clean chart, you guys can see that price obviously dropped below. And now it's within a range. And this will help you guys see things a lot better when identifying, market structure for US 30 in the morning. Because you can see the same thing here, but it's a little more messy because of all the other indicators. But for the most part, you guys can see exactly what's happening here. Not much. It's just ranging back and forth from that point. All right. See if there's any update here with regard to the fundamentals. It's currently sold down 125 points. So not very much at all. Looking over here at CNBC, if there's any updates here as well. Nothing really aside from the Federal Reserve, which is going to be speaking today at 11. Yeah, it says that mortgage finance fit. Man, this is news for you, Rick. Step up that FTMO. But yeah, no, it says that mortgage refinance is fizzle as interest rates resuming their climb, which was no surprise to anybody here. That was only there for COVID, and then now it's trying to raise back up. Let's see. I think that's it. I don't really see any other news here to really who tells employees they'll eventually be fired if they don't follow vaccination rules. Obviously, it doesn't make there's no surprise there either. COVID hit Germany, turns to family-run firms to aid economic recovery. There's not really much here for us to look at. I mean, if there's breaking news, we'll come back and take a look. But currently, right now, there's not really anything in the news that's really indicating price is going to keep dropping or price is going to keep going up. Aside from the rates, inflation rates. The interest rates and the inflation news that's going to be discussed later today with regard to. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just take a screenshot of my profits that I took off that the little sell earlier. It wasn't very much, but it was I just pretty much used my automatic TP stop loss to catch. And of course, MFF's going to give me some less profits. Man, MFF never ceases to amaze me with these, because the spread's so wide. Actually, FTMO too. Where wasn't just MFF. I only made 700 off my copiers. My main account though, I think I made more. I should have. Yeah. Okay. So let me just send you guys the profits real quick. So there's my personal, there's my MFF, there's my FTMO, and there is my main account FTMO. So yeah, looking at my trades over here. So basically on my personal account, I'm only taking a 0.03 lot size, made 23 off that. It's not very much, but it's something, it's my personal, goes straight to me. Here's my MFF, made 790 off that. Here's my FTMO copier, FTMO copier right here, made 710 off that. And then my main account here, you can see with the green line, because it hit my TP, I made 1,090. So This is my main account right here. The other accounts only closed out at, partial of that, which is okay. I mean, it is what it is. It happens. But yeah, this is what I took off the quick profit off that K2 US 30. So following the breakout entry. All right. So let me see that right there. And I'll just share this across the group so that you guys can see, what I did right there. I think Rick posted his profits too, right? Nice, Rick's kind of feeling like it's 9,500 a day. Yeah, right. Definitely, Rick. We gotta catch these as they come. It's gonna make sure I don't miss any of them. Yeah, not too bad. I mean, it is what it is. I just gotta bite the bullet when that happens. Other than that, Patricia just sent me your profits. Patricia's currently up 2,109 off her account. She took a couple trades here. Looks like a few small losses, but for the most part, all wins. Looks like Patricia's being a bit careful with her profits here as they vary, which is good. You got to be smart about it. And then our other account right here, currently up 1,010. Looks like Patricia might have taken that breakout earlier or part of it. But yeah, great work right there, Patricia. See if there's anything else over here real quick. Larishna over here currently at 2,175. Nice work, Larishna. Joshua over here took 3-minute signal on the sell for 50 pips or 500 points. Locked in 481 right here. Nice work, Joshua. I think that's it for right now. See Maddie over here just sent his profits right here. Looking, my bad, Maddie. I just saw your messages right there. Locked in a total of 552 right here. Nice work, Maddie. And then his other trades over here, 552 off this. And his MFF right here, 476. MFF's always going to be a bit lower. Every time I see your profits, like, man, I don't even have to look whether it's MFF. I already know it's MFF. Orain over here as well, locked in a total of 1,357. Great work, Orain. All right, guys. So good work, everybody. Looks like you guys caught a variation. Let me see if I can find it right here. Let me see. I probably missed it, honestly. Looks like, oh, it's right here. I see it. I totally missed it. So you guys caught that variation right there. So that's great. Just looking over here real quick. Let's see. Yeah, Maddie caught that variation. Peter said, seems like MFF is mostly good for the daily. Yeah, MFF is good for like the bigger moves, not necessarily for the scalps. It's a bit harder. Yi said, guys, TD 365 always fixed price US 30, 1 point, but the chart is 2 seconds before currency.com. That's good to know. Yeah, but you could use that to our advantage. But I don't really want to game the system like that, because that's how if they catch you doing that, they'll take away your account to say that you were cheating. So someone's done that before. Nice. Yeah, Maddie caught that variation. Brian took variation too. Nice. So a lot of you guys here caught that variation right here. So if you guys aren't familiar with the variation, you basically got a double wick off the low right here. And they took that for a quick buy. I didn't catch it, but a lot of you guys here caught it. I wasn't even paying attention. So unfortunately, I missed it myself. But great work amongst everyone over here who caught that variation. If you guys aren't familiar with the variation, go ahead and take a look at the last mentoring session we had on Monday. I went over the variation more in detail on that day. So if you guys want to go take a look at it and understand how that strategy is applied, you guys are more than welcome to go take a look at it. Let's see. That's weird. My MT4 just turned off and then turned back on. Usually if the market does, if I hear that a lot, like that's just once, but if I hear it happen like 2 or 3 times, there it happens again. I don't know if it's like there's something wrong with the market, but usually that indicates that some crazy shit's gonna happen in the market. It happens every time. I don't know what it is, but my MT4 never logs off like that. The only time it logs off like that and then logs back on is that when something is going to happen in the market, which I mean is a good thing and a bad thing because it kind of puts us on edge with regard to with taking any other entries. But it rarely happens for me. Rav said mine does that all the time with FTMO. Yeah, it doesn't happen to me very often. You guys can tell because if you guys have been following the live session, you never really hear that in the background. Usually that happens when the market starts to act a little wacky. Yeah, I'm not sure why yours does that, Rav. Because mine doesn't do that. You guys would hear it in the background all the time if it happens to me often, but it doesn't very much. But we'll see. I mean, we'll keep watching the market and we'll see what happens next. But when it does happen, like if you guys ever watch my previous live sessions and you guys hear that happening in the background, usually something crazy in the market happens. Like you'll see some sort of manipulation, or you'll see pricing like spiking back and forth. Or what happens is the execution time start to dwindle. Like you'll be entering trades and it'll exit late, or it'll be entering late and stuff like that. I'm sure it has to do with connection issue for a lot of others, but for me, it just doesn't happen very often. Let me scroll over here real quick. Yeah, same as Professor. Professor said his FTMO does the same thing. So I think it just depends on the connection issues. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would technically be a high-low entry. Tempted to take it, but I'm kind of worried because the London lows right here. Oh man, it looks like a good entry, but it doesn't satisfy the pivots because it needs to close above it, which it might. If it closes above here, this might be a good entry for a high-low scalp because all the entries here apply. The only thing that I would be worried about is the fact that it's such a big candle and also the fact that it's at this London low right here. Yeah, same with Maddie. Maddie said if it has a green momentum above it, I'm going to take it. So you can see this huge wick right there, right? You guys can see how important these session high lows are. These session high lows will really dictate, where these rejections might be happening. And it actually rejected right off this high right here too. So you can see this wick rejected off this high, rejected off this New York low, and also rejected off this London low. So yeah, lots of rejections right there. All right, so this high has now been pushed up higher here, which is fine. Now you can see that the range is now a bit wider. We got the range right here, the big range, and then we have the small range within it. All right. Yeah, so nothing here off the 1 minute, nothing off the 3 minute, also nothing off the 10 minute. The 10 minute is actually getting closer to the pivots right here. So as price gets closer to the pivots, there might be another snipe entry setting up over here as we continue. Let me go back to the chat over here and see what else I missed. Henry, the mentoring session is on YouTube with all the other videos. So if you go on the YouTube channel, you can find it on there. Pretty much with all of the other recorded videos, the live sessions and the mentoring sessions. Yeah, so there's just no entries available right now. Guys kind of planned out a bit. We have another low that's right here. Go to this chart over here too. I already have it drawn up. Let's see. Talanji said 3 minute daily is pending, but it will have to go through the previous session lows again. Let me see. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little too risky. From my perspective, because the problem with this is that if it reaches this point, well, depending on where it closes, it can easily bounce off either of these, right there, or right there. Yes, thanks, Sam. Sam just said light news was released. Let me take a look at the news real quick. Um, yeah, we had business inventories. It was 1.2% negative. NAHB housing market index was pretty much flat. So negative news that just came out just now. I don't think it's much to affect the market, but yeah, it was negative. Maddie said if it closes above the sessions, I can see price going back to market open. Henry said, sorry, I missed it. Where do you say the recordings are located? It's on the YouTube, Henry. It's where all the videos are located on the YouTube. So if you go on the YouTube channel, it's where it's always been in there, with all of the previous mentoring sessions and all the other previous live sessions. So let's see. Yeah, so opening price is right here, just like what Maddie mentioned. He mentioned that if he anticipates that if price closes above the sessions, he's anticipating it to push back up to opening price, which is that's a good, it can easily happen, right? I can see that happening too, especially because price is likely to recover before the Fed speaks. I think when the Fed speaks, price is going to go up. But I mean, there's no guarantee it's going to happen, right? For the most part, whenever the Fed does speak, it's usually good news because Powell speaks a lot of the times. So I don't think he's speaking today, though. Let me check real quick. Let's scroll down. Yeah, it just says Fed economic projections, Fed statement, Fed federals rate, and then the FOMC press conference. It doesn't say necessarily that Powell's going to speak, but he's probably going to speak to some extent. Or he might have some, he might say something and something will be published. He might not be speaking live, but he'll have to comment on it to some extent. Anyways, going back to the charts over here, not really much happening. You can see that we have the bigger range, which is up here, and then the smaller range within this area. You can see it better on the cleaner chart right here. Big range, small range, hasn't really broken outside of it. Going back to the 3-minute over here, that buy signal didn't close, so no entry off the daily there. Nothing here off the snipe. And then looking over at the 10-minute daily, no entry off here either. But if we do get an entry, it would be a buy signal, which I think would be a good move because it looks like the fundamentals are starting to weaken. You can see here it's only 104 points. It's less than 100 points now, so price might be shifting back to the upside. See, home builder confidence ends the year on a high, even as costs rise and labor is short in supply. Yeah, so here's the NAHB news. That's good news. So looking at the news here, basically negative business inventories, but positive NAHB. Let's check the index real quick, see if anything's updated. Nothing here really. Pretty much the same. Half stocks red, half stocks green. It's just that, some of the stocks here are stronger that are in the red. Goldman Sachs and Boeing and Amex right there. All right, so back to the charts over here. Not really much happening. You guys can see that the range is just getting tighter and tighter right here. All right, so let's see what happens here. It looks like price is attempting to make its way back up. So looking at this right here, we have currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this high has been established. I think price is attempting to make its way back up. I personally wouldn't enter just for whatever reason, though. I'd wait for an actual entry. So I'd be looking for price probably come up a bit, retrace down, probably bounce off this New York low right here, and then come right back up. That's what I would be looking for. This would be best case scenario. What might happen though is price might just shoot to the upside here, come back for a retest, consolidate for a bit, and then continue up higher. So, it's probably not going to come out as smooth as we want it to. Something like this is probably going to happen, or it'll push up, pull back a bit, consolidate, then push up higher as it attempts to break past all of these previous session lows over here. But yeah, other than that, let's see. Thanks, Brian. Brian said his crude oil inventory is at 730. Let me check that. Oh yeah, there is slight news, but it is still news that can affect the market. So thanks, Brian, for letting us know about that. I totally overlooked that earlier. This number is going to keep decreasing. All right. Retail sentiment currently 52% short. You can see the numbers trying to shift to the upside. Yeah, so like what I was mentioning earlier, guys, I want this to pull back a bit because I want some sort of retracement. And then what I want is I want a buy signal to close above here. If a buy signal closes above here, then it's gonna be perfect because it's gonna line up for all three strategies right here. It's gonna be an entry for the scalp, for the high-low scalp, an entry for the pivot scalp, and also an entry for the intraday. Or maybe if this turns green down here. But you can see right there, it's doing kind of what I mentioned earlier. It's gonna shoot up, then come back down a little bit, then consolidate, then possibly, go up higher. But yes, it's never going to be as smooth as we would have anticipated. So this high right here is broken. This is technically a high-low entry. But this candle here is too big, so it's not one that I would want to take because it would have to retrace a bit, right? If you're just comparing this candle to the other ones prior. But this would be a high-low entry for whoever wants to take it. I'm not taking it myself, but if you guys want to take, feel free. I just find it a bit too risky because it's right next to this London low. It's not necessarily... it wasn't like a clean break, right? It kind of shot up at the last second and it closed right there. What I do anticipate is it to pull back a little bit, probably consolidate for a bit, or maybe even drop even lower before actually going right back up. So, I mean, if you guys want to take it at your own risk. It's not one that I'm going to take. What I might do here is I'm going to watch it. And then if it does what I mentioned just now, where it pulls back a little bit and consolidates, but doesn't drop lower, what I might do is I might put a buy stop right here so that when it does swing up, I can catch it as it pushes up higher. So that's possibly what I might be taking there. And yeah, like Talanji said, it's a variation right there too. And this is exactly why I wouldn't have taken the trade. You can see how far it dropped down. But yeah, it's a variation right there too. Talanji caught that perfectly on the point. The variation would have hit, and then now it's probably on its way all the way back up. Damn, you guys caught that variation. I wasn't even looking at the variation. I missed it totally. But it's okay. Let me see if I can find this. I kind of want to put a buy stop there and then just catch it as it went over here. See, I'll probably put a buy stop right there and I'll just catch it as it swings up. Let me set that up real quick. There's a line option right here. Man, I hate MT4. I feel like MT4 is, I'm trying to like drag and drop some stuff here, but it's like so hard to move these like. All right, how do I delete this object list? Let's see. Trying to set. Let me see if I could figure this out. Trading. I'll do this buy stop. Buy stop at 3, 5, 8. No, I'm just gonna wait for it to come back up. Okay, so yeah, this right here I wouldn't have taken, obviously, like I mentioned, but the reason why I'm not gonna put a buy stop there now is because it dropped below here. So technically this trade would have been done for if I was to take it like as it came up. But Henry already did. So I didn't even put the buy stop up. So there's no buy stop that I put there. I'm pretty much just waiting for it to come back. Oh, this high here has been validated. So there's no high there right now. I'm kind of like bummed that I missed that variation with you guys. I was looking for the main entry, but I totally missed the variation right there off the next entry off that. Yeah, no, exactly, Maddie. So Maddie was talking about the sessions. So yeah, for this right here, one thing that you guys want to be really careful of is trading around this area where these session high lows are. Because generally when price reaches these points or gets near them, it usually rejects right off them. So like, for example, right here, price broke below it, came back up, tested it right here. And then it came right back down. Right, and then again right here, you can see price came up right here, touched it and came back down. And then right here, price came up, touched it right there. And then it came right back down. So yeah, I don't have a pending buy stop off that, Henry. I didn't even put one up. I was trying to set one up, but when price dropped this far, there's just no point. Let's wait for another entry to come up. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna draw another low. We don't currently have a high right now because this one was invalidated by this candle and that created variation. Oh, that's crazy. Maddie said he made 98 off his MFF, but 497 off his FTMO. Like what? Yeah, that's crazy. The I'll take a look, Maddie. Yeah, John said you need someone with a sharp eye also to be on the mic to call out variations. Yeah, Maddie's probably going to help with that at some point, John. So that's what we're planning on moving on because these variations move too fast. Like for example, right here, I totally missed it because I was so focused on trying to analyze it as a high low that I totally missed this following candle right here. But you know, Maddie caught it, a lot of other people caught it as well. So definitely great work right there. But yeah, looking at Maddie right here. So Maddie made 497 off his FTMO, the dot cash, total of 1,202 in profit. But looking at his MFF, he only made, and this is other FTMO right here. He made 1,132 off this account, but his MFF over here, he only made 98. So you can see he took the same exact trades. It's a copier. So he took the trades here on his FTMO. He's currently at 1,132. And then on his MFF, he's only up 637. So basically half profit. And looking at this right here, he only made 98. So off his FTMO, he made 497. Here, he only made 98, which, I mean, it's a crazy difference between the two different accounts. Let's see. All right, so there's nothing here right now. Obviously, you can see that this high right here kind of just opened up. So now we got a tighter range right here, which is perfectly fine. I'm hoping we can find at least one good entry before we get closer to the end of the session because it's just too it's too close to all these sessions. Like I don't want to be trading around this area here with all these session lows because you know the same thing will just happen where it bounces off it. Brian, you need to sign out. I have an issue with Zoom. If you can, yeah, definitely, Brian. So leave the Zoom and then hop right back on, jump Brian, and I'll let you in because it'll show up on my screen right here on my main screen that you're trying to rejoin. So we can do that. There you go, Brian. Should be good to go, Brian. I see that you're back in the room. Randy said you have your indicators turned on, but only the sessions appear. When I try it, the pivot and momentum plot appear as well. Any ideas how to have just the sessions appear? It shows on mine here, Randy. It shows my pivots here. Actually, everything shows on my screen. It's not just the pivots. I'm not sure what the momentum looks like because the momentum doesn't have anything here plotted on the side. I have the K2 pivots right here on mine. So I do have the K2 pivots and I also have the sessions. So they're actually all on my chart. I don't know if you can take off just one of them. Let me see. You might be talking about this price line right here. Is this what you're talking about? Right, I think this is what you got you. Right, I think this might be is if you have this price line right here that's bothering you, that might be it. So you might want to just turn that off right there. If you really want to take off the yeah, because I don't think you can do it by specific indicator, but let me see if I can find. See 1, 2, 3, 4. No entry off this candle right here. I was just checking to see if this was an entry for high low, but it wasn't because this wasn't established as the low yet. But yeah, let me see if I could help you with that, Randy, because I know that's kind of annoying if you have like a lot of the lines there that are on the side. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like you can remove them. You either have them on or you don't have them on at all. So I mean, if this is bothering you where it's like too much on the side on your screen, you can just take them off. And then you can just look at these lines because you'll know what these lines mean, right? It's not that difficult. But I personally like having them on there just to know what I'm looking at. So yeah, hopefully that helps with that, Randy. But yeah, I can see how it can get annoying if you have too much stuff on the chart. What you can do as well is you can also remove, like what you can do is you can see where the session low is. You can just create a horizontal line, put it right over it for like each session, and then just turn it off because it's still going to be there. Just depending on how you want it. All right, so back to the charts over here. This wasn't an entry for a high low because this is low here. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4 candles. You need 5 candles for it to be established as the low there. So new low right here. Let's see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this right here would be the 4th candle. So you need at least 2 candles for this high to be established. It hasn't been established just yet. And let me go back to the cleaner charts over here just to clean this up so that you guys can see what we're looking at here. So we got this right here is the high. This right here is low. We got another pending high right there. If that closes, then we'll draw another line. But currently right now, you can see how price is just ranging within this area right here. Let's see. Yeah, it's Longy said, yeah, this whole range is risky. Yeah, I agree. This range is it's been risky this whole time. That's why I've been very careful with like looking at trades and trying to take some myself because it's just there's a lot of red flags here, right? Like just like I was mentioning before, even if we have a high low entry that closes above this point right here, this is technically it's testing the high right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, if this candle here closes above with a buy signal, this would technically be an entry for a high low. However, it's risky because there's a session low right here. There's a London low and then the New York low right here, which is it's currently rejecting off. You can see this wick right here rejecting off this green line, which is a New York low. The problem with that is that if it rejects off it, it can easily bounce right off and head back down. Let's see. Yeah, not looking to take this right here at all, guys. Well, I mean, there's no entry there anyways, so nothing off there. We have another pending high right here off this. And it's kind of just bouncing around that area. Let's see, question from Professor, would you have taken the 10-minute snipe? Let's see. Personally, I wouldn't, because we're getting close to the end of the live session, which is like around 8. And as we get closer to that point, I would anticipate a buy signal to come up around, because the thing is, you got to remember that the Fed's going to be speaking right here at 11. So what we're probably going to see here is probably some sort of like consolidation within this area. And then when the Fed starts speaking, it's probably going to swing right back up. So that's why for me personally, I'm not really looking to take any more sells at this point. Well, I mean, if I see something good, like a variation or something, I would take it because it's such a quick move. But for the snipe and for the daily, it's just too big of a move, right? You're going for 500 pips. So I personally would, I mean, you can take it if you want, but for me personally, I think it's a bit of a big move to be riding it down that far. Also, I think that this drop here is already overextended, right? This is dropped way too heavy right here. And I think what would happen here is it's going to have to swing right back up eventually. Maybe not now, maybe not in the next hour or so, but eventually I do see it swinging back up. So if you're asking me personally if I would take it, Professor, or anybody else, I personally wouldn't take it. I would look for trades on the shorter time frames, because it's just too big of a move. It's 500 pips, and you can see right here on the previous candles, there's a lot of wicks right here, right? So price has already attempted to make its way down. However, every time it tries to make its way down, it just bounces back up, comes back down, bounces back up, comes back down, bounces back up, and then now it's just pretty much, doing the same. So we got a possible variation here on the 1 minute. Yeah, this is one that I would probably take. Right there. Let's see. See. Yeah, same here, Maddie. All right, so it's a variation right here. Variation entry right there. I'm currently in it. I'm already out. It was too fast. So I don't know if you guys caught this here. This is the one that me and Maddie were looking at. There was a variation off there. Mine already closed out. So I made damn, I only made 990. I don't know what's going on with, like, I don't know if the market's too volatile or like what, but the market is like, I'm already out of it. I only made 990 off that. Let me check my other accounts to see what they're looking like. Let's see. I'll take a screenshot of my profits off that, but it's weird. Yeah, I only made a little bit off that. It hit my TP, but it only gave me 990. Man, my other FT one too, it only gave me 790. I don't know. The market's just kind of weird today. It's not giving me full profit off my accounts. I guess the market's just too volatile, and it's not able to close me out where it's supposed to. But yeah, man, that's a good cash right there, Maddie. I was personally looking for a buy anyways, so I will put this up over here. I'm gonna just take a screenshot because a lot of you guys did take it. Looks like, yeah, Randy caught it for 25. Kenny caught it too. Brav said his is rubbish too. It looks like a lot of people here took the trade, but they didn't really catch. They didn't really catch the full profit. And I'm just gonna screenshot here so I can show you guys what the variation is, because a lot of people have been like wanting examples of like how these variations look. But let me just put this out there, and I'll send the screenshot of my profits as well. All right. Just got to change this a little bit. All right, so price is still moving its way up. It's getting close to the session high lows though, so I'll post up my profits real quick before we take a look at that. But let me just send you guys this real quick. Here's my FTMO. There's my MFF. There's my copier. And there's my main account right here. So like looking at this right here, let's see. Locked in off that. Those 30 minutes. All right. This was an easier way to just post up the profits without having to post up like 4 different pictures. It's kind of annoying having to post them all up at once. But yeah, let me just get this right here. Looks good. Oops. All right, cool. So there's no entries right here available. Let me just see what everyone else posted over here real quick. So let's see. Albert over here locked in variation as well, locked in a total of 1,489. Nice work, Albert. Going here in our ETH as well, currently up 7,588 off that account. Nice work, Narith. And then his other account currently up 6,469. Nice work off that, Narith. And then his third account currently up 5,308. So great work across all accounts right there, Narith. Huge profits right there across the board. Here are my profits off that trade. I made 20 bucks again, made less than what I normally do. 43 off my personal. My MFF currently 2 wins right there. Pretty much same thing. Locked in 1,580 off that one. Looking at this right here, currently 1,429 off my FTMO. I made 790 off that trade. And then off my main account right here, I made 2,009, currently 990 off that one trade. You can see the green stripe right here, showing that this is the main account because it hit TP. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it off that right there. Looking at Maddie over here, Maddie locked in 1,730 off that, all wins, no losses here. Maddie's pretty much been focused on the variations. Also looking at his other account over here, this is his other FTMO, currently up 1,660. Nice work, Maddie. And then his third account over here is MFF, currently at 1,015. That looks like a small profit off that too. Maddie, it looks like it was a little more though compared to your other ones over here. So that's good. Other than that, Josh over here, he took the variation and catch full profit, but he's still locking some nice profit off at 295 current day, 802 in profit. So nice work right there, Joshua. I think that's it for now. I'll look at the personal messages a little later. And let me just fix this right here and add another pending high right there. This variation here is done. So they move this low right there. And as you can see, the range is getting tighter and tighter. All right, so let me get over here and see what the questions were. Let me scroll down real quick. One second before I get to the questions, guys. Let me just take a look real quick. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This would not be, so this high has just been invalidated. Delete that. If price closes above this this high right here, this would technically be a high low entry, but it's going to be, let me see how far is it from this over here. It's going to be a bit risky because it's just a high-low entry. It's not a pivot scalp or intraday. So I probably wouldn't be taking it if it comes up, just as a high-low. I would want it to pull back a little bit and then push up higher to establish an entry off these three strategies right here. Scrolling down real quick. Paul said, Sean, when you get a chance, there's a setup that I have used in the past and it works well with the liquidity grab strategy. It's better if you heard me explain it though. Yeah, Paul. So we'll try to save that for like towards the end of the session if you're still on, Paul, because we're still looking for trades right now. And then we can get you on the mic and you can kind of explain it. But yeah, at the end, just remind me before I go off the live, like once it gets closer to 8 and the market dies down a bit, we'll get you on the mic and you can explain it and we can see what you've been, what you've been applying. So it'd be a little bit easier. But yeah, let's save that towards the end. I mean, it's getting close to the end anyways. Market is starting to die down a bit. So if you don't see anything here, we'll have you explain that. Looks like, so Paul pretty much has a strategy that he's used in the past that works well with the liquidity grabs. So, and the thing with those liquidity grabs is that we just haven't had them lately. We've had them like not using the retail sentiment because retail sentiment hasn't been very high. But if you guys have been following my markups from the previous days, you guys have seen that we've been having a lot of those. Like yesterday on the 24th, we had a bunch of the highs that were marked up over here. So like all throughout the session over here, we had a bunch of these highs marked up, right? And we were just waiting for them to pretty much, for price to swing back up and just trigger all of them. So yeah, well, we probably didn't get this far, but we got it to this point. And then if you were like following, actually wasn't here, we like got off around 8. So it was like around like, it was like those right there. So basically right here, you can see that we drew these lines here where all these highs were not getting triggered. And I think another one like right here. So I got off around 8. And then I mentioned to, I think I was talking to Rick and a couple other people that, when price finally breaks above this point, it's probably going to push up higher, which, I mean, it wasn't right here, but they were drawing them a little lower to this point over here because this is too late already. It's already past noon. But around this point, people kept drawing their lows here. I think Rav and Rick were doing it. And price just kept dropping lower and lower. And then as soon as price finally climbed above here, I think Rick took a big trade or someone took a big trade and they caught this as it rode up right here. So you can still draw these liquidity zones if you get like a lot of these highs that are not triggered. Because the thing is price just keeps going lower and lower. So that when price finally gets below this point and it finally swings back up, because you guys got to remember US3 is a directional asset. So like once it starts pushing up, it just keeps pushing up higher and higher. When price finally broke above here, it pushed up for a nice push to this side over here. So if you like caught the buy here, like it's like a nice like 700 pips or so at that point. Yeah, exactly. Like what what Rick mentioned earlier, the mid-market reversal. And it always happens, right? So like you can see right here, if you guys see the chart that I always mark up, it's like from 10 to 12. From this point, it slowly started to churn its way up. And then around 11 to 12, it just made its mid-market reversal to the upside. So just something to keep in mind. If you guys are still looking to apply that, but it does work perfectly fine. It's just with the way that the market's currently moving, it doesn't have a strong bias, especially during the holidays, because a lot of people are taking, early vacation or they're just not trading during the holidays. All right. So anyways, back to what I was looking at over here. Let me go back to the current chart. So there was a high-low entry there, just like I mentioned earlier. It's not one that I would recommend taking because it's not one that lines up with all of these over here. So this right here would be another variation, but just like I mentioned before, guys, it's just too risky because it's around this area where there's too many session high lows, right? You don't want to be trading around this area because price can easily bounce off. So I wouldn't have taken that variation there even if it closed. And And like I mentioned before, I'm not really looking for any sells. I'm looking for buys. So if I get variations for buys and they're clean past this previous session lows, then I would probably hop into it. Thanks, guys. We have a pending 3-minute. So if this closes above the pivots, this might, or not above the pivots, but above this session, this London low over here, this might be a decent entry for. But here's one thing that you guys want to be careful of. It's getting close to the Asia low. So even though it closes above here, it still has to make it past the Asia low over there. So you guys want to be really careful if you guys take this. We'll see how it closes. Like, it looks like in about a minute. Man, it's cold in my office. I'm turning on my heater. It's freezing in here. But yeah, guys. So like looking at this right now, this well, it's not. It's pending now. It's not even a buy signal. It's not strong enough. You can tell because it's getting close to these London lows. What might happen is like towards the end, this might wick down a little bit. And then close below here. If it closes below there, for sure, no entry. But yeah, definitely still want to swing it back up. Rick said it's like 72 degrees in your office. No, man, it's cold today, bro. Well, even if it was 72 degrees, it'd still be freezing. It's like, I think today the weather is like, it's actually starting to get colder in California. It's just like sucks, but it's also a good thing because we never get cold. And you can see right there, it's doing exactly what I just mentioned, right? So like I was mentioning, if it closes below here, for sure, you don't want to take any entry because it's going to probably bounce off it. Yeah, Jeff said it was 42 last night. Yeah, no, it's been getting cold, especially because of the rain as well. Basically Eskimos, right? Yeah, so no entry off there off the daily for the 3 minutes. So we'll go back to the 1 minute real quick and see what's going on over here. Price finally closed above this point. I know it broke out to the upside, but we are looking for a push to the other side. Here, let's see. Yeah, John said, SoCal people die from cold when it gets below 60. We really do, John. Yeah, anything below 60 is sub-zero for us. I'm freezing right now. It's probably like, let me check the weather right now. It's 30, it's really cold, guys. 39 degrees here right now. It's crazy. I've never seen it this cold in Irvine or OC general. But yeah, it's 39 degrees right now. What the fuck? Oh, fuck, I just fucked with my thing. Whoops. I accidentally clicked on my MT4 and I clicked on something. And I don't know what I did. Ah, damn it. Okay. Whatever. I'll come back to it later. You know, I accidentally clicked on this. It's weird. Like when you click on this little button in the corner of your MT4, something comes up like a pop-up. I accidentally clicked DC4. I don't know what DC4, DC1 means. Whatever, I'll leave it at DC4. Okay, so going back to what I was just saying earlier, guys, no entry off the 3 minute. And so let me get to the chat. I'm just like freezing my balls off right now. So I'm like trying to stay warm. I want to turn on the heater, but I also don't because it's going to take a while for it to warm up my office anyways. These are the 10-minute daily. Oh yeah, so there's a daily right there. So this is the daily that I was looking for. This is a daily that, I mean, it's kind of late to enter the daily, but I'll be taking buys as price continues to push up higher and higher. So if you guys want to take this daily, you guys can go ahead. I do think price is going to push up, so I think it's a pretty decent entry. However, you guys also want to keep in mind that the Fed is speaking at 11. So I know it's kind of late to enter the daily right now specifically, but I do think it's going to push up higher. Man, I totally missed that. How did I miss that? Came up like 4 minutes ago. So there's a daily right there. I will set some alerts here for you guys. So if you guys want to take it, feel free. I'm probably going to take it as it if it pulls back, I'll take it. And then if I see any other entries for buys, I'll just take it and I'll just ride its way, like, up higher. What's going on? I can't set alerts. It's weird. All right, let me see. My trading view is kind of off right now. There we go. All right, it's gonna ignore this cold and let's see, high low. Ignore this cold and set up my alerts real quick. TP2 750. Yeah, so I'm not in the position yet, guys. I will be probably entering it at some point if it pulls back, or if I get another buy entry that comes off any of the other time frames. But yeah, I'm not in it right now. And this is what we've been looking for, right? I was waiting for this to swing up because we're waiting for it to go up due to the Fed that's going to be going off later today. Because we do see it to go up due to the inflation rates and, interest rates going up as well. So let me just move this up real quick. So this high here has been invalidated. Or I don't know, has it? Yeah, it was. Looks like that high has been invalidated, so that's no longer going to be used as a high. The high low here hit TP though. The one that I was telling you guys that was a bit, or I don't know, did I say it was risky? I can't remember if it was this one. No, it was this one. So this one's the one that I saw was risky right here, even though it hit TP, it did hit TP off it. So I wouldn't have taken this one right here. But this one over here is one that I probably would have taken because this was the high that hasn't been broken in like forever, or it wasn't actually high anymore because it was invalidated by that. But if it wasn't invalidated, this would have been a good entry right there because it actually broke above this session low for London. So that would have been good right there. But other than that, this high right here has been invalidated. So there's no high that is technically available off of that. If we get a variation here, I would take it for a buy. But I mean, currently we don't have one right now. Man, it is freezing here, guys. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I gotta turn on the heater. It's way too cold. It's fucking cold. A little bit. All right, I'm back, guys. Man, it was freezing. Had to turn on this this here. All right, so let's see what's going on over here real quick. We got this 1, 2, 3, 4. No low right there. There's a high right here though. That's pending. Henry, I just saw your message there. Henry said Sean's new nickname will be Delicate Sean. Man, it's so cold today. The weather just got colder and colder. It usually gets warmer, but we'll see what happens here. So let's see what we got over here. Okay, so looking back at the daily, you just gotta wait for it, guys. It's probably not gonna go up just yet. What I'm gonna do here is I'm still not in the daily yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'll probably wait for it to pull back a little bit. And then what I might do is I might put a buy stop there and then have it swing back up. I haven't set it up yet, so just keep that in mind. But we will see what happens in the next couple minutes or so as market continues to push along. So going over here real quick. Not yet, Paul. I'm going to keep analyzing for a little bit, and then I'll get you on the mic so that you can go over the strategy that you were discussing earlier. So let me just scroll up real quick. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions over here. I just saw your question here, your message right here, Rick. See, other than that, let me just scroll up a little bit. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything over here. All right, I didn't miss anything. But yeah, once like we're done analyzing for the day, guys, Paul will get on the mic and he'll explain his strategy that he uses when price reaches liquidity areas. So he can like kind of just share that with you guys, so that you guys can kind of maybe use that as well to your advantage if you guys are looking for entries to take. So nothing here off the 1 minute, nothing here off the 3 minute, nothing here off the 10 minute. And nothing, well, technically the daily here that's currently pending. But what might happen here is a U shape. This is what might be happening. Where's that tool at? Something like this, right? You guys have seen that happen a lot, where price will just dip a little bit and it'll come right back up. The problem with this is that I'm not expecting price to go up until the Fed speaks. So that's why I'm like not too jumpy into like entering the trade just yet, because the Fed's not speaking till 11. So the Fed doesn't speak till this time right here. What I'll be looking for is I'll be looking for this to dip slightly. And then what I'm looking for on the 3 minute or the 1 minute. So like say, for example, we get a 3 minute buy, right? Say price pushes up here and then we get a buy signal above here for the momentum. So if we get a buy signal there, then it'll be a pivot scalp and it'll also be 3 minute daily. And then what happens is I'll probably get in for a discount where I can ride that from here all the way up to the full TP. That's going to ride up for the daily over here, right? So I'm pretty much going to be waiting for that to happen. I'm looking for a good buy entry so that I can get in for a discount, or I'll get in at opening price. I'm not in the position yet. It's just, it's about being patient and waiting for either a better entry or the original entry to come up. But I'm not going to buy right here because price can easily dip further before it gets to that point. So it's just going to be a matter of time before it, and there's no guarantee, right? There's no guarantee it's going to swing up. That's why I'm not entering here and getting greedy. I'm pretty much just waiting for it to provide an entry on the shorter time frames, whether it be the 3 minute or whether it be the 1 minute. So we got that right there. We have a pending low right here. And we'll just see what happens here. So nothing available right here right now. Let me go over here real quick and I'll just draw this on a clean chart. So the thing also that we're looking for is a thing that me and Maddie were looking for earlier. If you guys remember, Maddie said that if price closes above a certain area, he's anticipating price to go back to opening, which should be right here, right? And that's kind of what I'm expecting too. I'm anticipating that to happen as well. So I'm looking for a buy entry to come up. And then when a buy entry does come up, opening price is about, it's not the full TP for the break for the daily, but it's still about close to like 1,000 pips. So one thing that you guys want to be careful of is when price gets to this point over here, price will do one of two things, right? Price will either bounce off it or it will continue pushing up higher. So once price gets close to this thing here, I'll probably move my stop loss in profit if I'm following the daily entry. Because the daily entry goes up a little higher. It goes up till 35,642. See, 35,642. Oh, it's way higher. Yeah, it's way higher. So 35,000. Yeah, it's like way past this. So I mean, we'll see what happens when price gets to that point. But yeah, I'm not entering the daily just yet. Just gonna wait for. I think if this closes above here, this would be a nice entry. Like if price swings from here up to here. Oh, sorry, wrong tool. If price swings from here to up here and closes, because this would be a high-low entry. Also, it looks like it may be an entry for the other strategies as well, making the triple confluence that we're looking for on this 1 minute over here. So we'll follow it, and then we'll see what we're looking for over here. So let me just scroll up real quick. And I think I missed something above here. Let me just scroll up real quick. I saw something with, I think Randy mentioned. Sorry, I totally missed your question. Yeah, Randy said that the bias is bearish, so I don't understand why it's a buy, because we're anticipating the mid-market reversal. So if you guys remember, there's always a reason why we have this setup here, right? Like every day, it's always the same setup. We're anticipating, we already had the initial move. So the initial move happened right here, right? That's why we have these marked up. These are all crossed off because the initial move already happened. It was a bearish push. From 8 to 9, you know, it's an initial move in one direction, 8 to 9 consolidation, 9 to 10 consolidation, 10 to 12 mid-market reversal, which happens almost every day, right? So that's the reason why we're looking for it to swing, because we've already had the direction set right here. If you tie in all the different things that we're looking at, inflation news, Fed speaking, it's already dropped right here. It's going to go into consolidation. When the mid-market reversal happens at this point, you're already going to have good entry. So if you guys tie in like pretty much what we're looking for here, let me take a look at the fundamentals. The fundamentals are currently just at, it's like, it's been moving around this area right here. It's been going between like 50 and 100. So when price was up here, so let's see what the daily was. It's currently down a little bit, but when price was above this area right here, it was under 100 points. It's only negative 100 because price has been dropping right here. So this right here, you can see it's only 108, right? If price is up just a few pips, like say above this area right here, this would be less than 100. So the bias isn't going to be a bearish bias anymore. Looking over at retail sentiment, there's no bias here at all either. So the only thing that you're really looking at is the fundamentals here, which are not very strong because it keeps bouncing between 100. See, now it's 105. It's probably going to be less than 100 in a few minutes or whenever it pushes above here. And I only know that because the fundamentals move in the direction of price, right? Price pushes up, fundamentals be less than 100. Price pushes down, it'll be more than 100. Because right now it's at 105. So it pushes up even slightly above this line right here, it's going to be less than 100. And I'll show you guys in a few minutes, you know, if and when it does happen. So let me just scroll down a little bit and see if there's anything else that I'm missing here. So that's a quick explanation for you, Randy. I know it might be a little confusing because, you know, we generally trade in the direction of buys, but you can see right here, see how price is pushing up. When price goes above this point and close to entry, I'll refresh this and this will be less than 100 points. And you can see right there, it's 95, right? So the bias isn't a sell anymore. I mean, it's still a sell, but it's not a strong sell because we want it to be under 100 and consistently under 100. Price hasn't been consistently 100 for a while because you can see these previous candles right here. So each candle is 10 minutes, right? So if you go back 1, 2, 3, the bias wasn't bearish anymore 30 minutes ago. I mean, it was bearish, but it wasn't a strong bearish bias. It was a weak bearish bias. So, and you know, like how I'm saying, I don't have to look at the bias over here because I already know where the fundamentals are. If it's around 100, then I already have this mental note that if price bounces around this area where I have this line, let me just go a little closer, where I have this line right here, when price goes above it, it's going to be less than 100. When price goes below it, it's going to be more than 100. So if I refresh it right now, or it's not even there yet. So, you know, you just keep moving it lower and lower right there. So whenever price goes above it, it's going to be less than 100 points. When price goes below, it's probably going to be more than 100 points. So looking at this over here, price has been above this point for like a while now, since like 7:30. It's 8 o'clock right now. So the bias has been changing since 7:30 or so. And that's why I'm not really looking for that bearish bias anymore. So other than that, let's see. Okay, you can see price pushing up right here. Let's go ahead and refresh this. It's only at like 90 points, or yeah, 90 points. It's going between 90 and 99. And this will help you guys understand, you know, how the bias changes. Because the bias isn't always going to be strong. It's not always going to be in one direction. It's going to be swinging back up. And as you can see, price is starting to swing back up as we speak. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me just scroll down a little bit. You said, what indicated you to start looking for buys even though fundamentals have been red still? Are you still being familiar with the daily habits? Oh, yeah, exactly. So yeah, D said, I just answered your question. Sorry, I totally missed your question. But yeah, it's a combination of the market pattern that pretty much plays out almost every day. Also, just the fact that the news that played out earlier today, the inflation news and whatnot, it's going to affect the Fed meeting later. So the Fed usually says good things about the economy because they want to bring morale to the US, obviously, you know, with regard to economics. So when they speak at 11, I do expect it to be bullish. So right here, you know, we're probably going to get this little consolidation move right here. And then when they start speaking at 11, I'm expecting it to shoot back up. So yeah, short answer to your question is, yeah, pretty much what I just explained right now is why I'm anticipating to swing right back up. So hopefully that makes sense. I know it might be a bit confusing to some of you guys if you guys aren't understanding what I mean by the bias changing. But if you guys watch every session, I draw this up on a clean chart almost every day. And it's the same pattern that repeats itself every time. We have one directional move during market open till 8. And then from there, some consolidations, more consolidation, and then a mid-market reversal from 10 to 12. And you guys will probably see Rick like messing around the group too. Like yesterday, Rick was like, oh, this mid-market reversal isn't happening. And I forgot because someone like corrected Rick. And Rick was like, it was a joke. Because some people just don't get Rick's sarcasm sometimes when it comes to these specific moves here. But yeah, the mid-market reversal did happen yesterday and it happened the day before that. So, you know, it's a key tool to use when identifying where to trade so that you don't get caught on the wrong side of the market. But yeah, other than that, I don't really see anything else here on the 1 minute. Nothing here off this one as well. Looking at the 3 minute, nothing here. So we have the pending buy signal right here, but it needs to close above the pivots in order for it to be an entry for the pivot scalp. However, it might be a good entry here as well, because it's going to line up with the daily over here. I'm kind of tempted to enter just now, but we'll see. Just hoping to find another. See how it closes. Yeah, same here, Professor. I'm looking at the 3 minute right now. The thing you want to be careful of is when it gets because if it gets close to this Asian low, it might bounce off it, right? So you just want to make sure to move your stop loss and profit when it reaches that point. I don't think so. Can you guys hear me? Nick's asking if I muted myself. I don't believe so. I'm looking at my, I think you might have muted yourself, muted on your computer. Yeah, everyone can hear me, Nick. It might be on your side. You might have just muted your computer. Everyone can hear me. Thanks, guys, for confirming that. I wasn't sure if it was me or if it was Nick's computer. All right, so, man, no entry. What a bummer. I was hoping that was going to close so I can hop into it and just let it run, but I mean, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right. It's just not time for that entry. So nothing here off the 3-minute yet. So it's 8 o'clock right now, guys. I think I might be done for this right here. We'll let Paul go over the entries right now that he was discussing. I was hoping to see if I could catch a variation or something over here. We're looking for that 3-minute dip close, looking for any variation or any entry here off the 1 minute. No entry here. Yeah, there just isn't anything available right now. And I'm not in the daily yet, so just FYI, I didn't enter into this just yet. I'm looking for an entry off one of these over here, possibly a 3-minute daily or something here on the 1 minute. Oh, this would be nice. So Maddie, I'm not sure if you're watching right now, but we have a low here established. So if we get a variation off this, it's gonna be good. All right, let's just see this real quick. If it invalidates the variation, then we'll just go off and then Paul can go over. But yeah, this is lining up as a really nice variation right here, possibly. Nope. Damn it. All right, so it invalidated it right there. Yeah, no, that sucks. I know that would have been perfect, right, Manny? Because it would have rejected off the New York low and it would have been a variation right there. So if that would have closed right there as a variation, I would have rode this all the way up to the daily if it closed. Yeah, I would have held this for like 1,000 pips. Yeah, man, this stupid market. And it's just dropping lower. So it's not even going to create a variation at any point right here. So that would have been good. I mean, if that was the case, like, damn, I would have rolled that all the way from here all the way up to the market open right there for like 1,000 pips. That'd be like a 10,000 profit for me if I took that with the 10 lot and just held on to it. I mean, it's all good. I mean, it happens. Market is not really moving as smoothly. So I'm gonna hand the mic off to Paul real quick. Paul, let me add you as a co-host so that you can share your screen as well. And then Paul's gonna share the strategy that he uses sometimes. So let's see, Paul's right here. Let me make him co-host. All right, let's see. All right, Paul, you can start talking if you want to. You just need to unmute yourself, and then if you know how to share your screen, there's like a toolbar there, and I'll say new share. You can just click the drop down menu, or just click on the new share button, and then you can choose your main screen. There we go.
See it?
Yep, we got it. Here we go, Paul. So
yeah, how you doing, Sean? Thanks for all the strategies you've been teaching me.
yeah, definitely, no problem, man. Glad that you're sharing this with us. You know, it's good to see other people's strategies and what they use.
Because the first things first, before I started using your strategy, I used to use an EMA strategy, like the 20, the 50, and the 100, and also the 200. I use all 4 of those EMAs to confirm how strong the trend is.
Nice.
If I see price like at least five candles hovering over a specific EMA, and the trend is confirmed as either uptrend or downtrend, On the momentum candle, that's where I combine with your strategy. That's where I enter my buy in. But in this strategy right here, if you can see this box right here, I saw the dip down to the downside, but the fundamentals on NASDAQ were not strong yet. It was still down the middle. So I actually did put a a sell right here and caught it just for a quick 100, because if I tried going for a bigger move, I would have got burned right here. I saw it come back up to here, so I was thinking, okay, it may be a little reversal for that long red candle luring in all the sellers. But after I saw it drop with these three decent candles here, I saw wick here, wick here, wick here, a wick down here, which was going to be a possible buy, but then I saw a nice doji right here. So I had 1, 2, 3, and 4 wicks all right here, and they were also rejecting off of the Tokyo line. So I was like, this is perfect, because a lot of the liquidity is now going to be down here because of all the buyers. Because if I zoom out, there's nothing right here. Well, at the time there was nothing here. Let me dial this back. See, before all this came out, there was nothing here. So this was a pretty much uncharted territory. And this candle here did not invalidate this low yet. I almost was going to enter the buy right here, but it didn't. So if I play it right here, let me do this.
There we go.
Boom. Yeah, right there. That candle right there. I was like, boom, there's all the liquidity right there, because all these wicks were indicating there were a bunch of buyers trying to buy down here, because a lot of people back then used the Fibonacci strategy because it was coming down to here. But I said, if this closes all the way down here, it's going to go on a liquidity hunt, because this is uncharted territory, a big candle here, and it was slowly moving this way. That's why you have to be patient with it. And even the same thing happened on US 30. Does anyone want to try to screenshot this? By the way, anybody in the chat, anyone want to try screenshotting this if they understand this?
Yeah, I can see what you're looking at right there. It looks like, so that red candle would have been a high-low entry. Also, I could see the kind of pattern that you're identifying there. You're looking at how we have that big red candle.
Yes, I look at the wicks because I prefer wick-based price action, because it shows where price is reacting to.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's pretty clear. I mean, you can see that big red candle, it retraces up, and you're waiting for it to either confirm the move back down or, reversal to the upside. And it did exactly what you were looking for right there.
And also, one thing I notice is when it comes into a consolidation, is that it usually tries doing it 2 to 3 times, where it tries to push above or push below. But if we go here, these lows never came down here, and it just kept pushing on up. I would have been tempted to enter the buy right here, but the thing is, this push was still kind of heavy, so the momentum was still on the downside, but it started shifting, because a complete trend turnaround happens very rarely, which is what I learned from a 1-hour video. The psychology has to change first, step by step. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm still looking at consolidation here. So I was like, okay, so we have 1 here and 2 right here. So I'm thinking, if I get another signal to go up, most likely it's going to go up now, because it keeps on like shifting this way. Hold on, let me try the. Never mind. No, I ain't gonna worry about that. But do you see what I'm trying to say? Because it looks like a flag's being made. Because when I see a flag against a heavy bearish move right here, I'm anticipating it to go down. And look, it is going down. Because I've seen this pattern play out too many times. Because this is one of the moves that a lot of institutions use, is the flag play. They use the triangle play and the flag play. Because what I wait for is for it to close past the previous low, the previous highest low. Because if we draw this right here, we got ourselves a nice little flag. And this was the highest low right here. And look, it started closing below it. It started testing it. And this candle right here closed all the way below it. So there's this. I missed this because I wasn't looking for any more trades. But if I entered this sell here, because it combines with your strategy of the momentum and the high low, it would have been a nice TP of 100 pips.
Yeah, that would have been good. Even that other red candle right there that breaks below that other low, the The
Yeah,
one that,
yeah, this one right here. The thing is, I wouldn't have trusted that because I prefer like a quick move to the downside.
yeah, no,
Remember what I said earlier, a complete trend turnaround happens very rarely. It has to test it first. It has to go to a certain spot and fiddle around the area to see where the retail traders are going.
yeah, exactly.
So the
Yeah,
fact that we had an invalid signal here, I was like, okay, good. If we get a nice little signal to the downside, I'll go in.
that'd be the real move. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I was still anticipating this to eventually go down because it's been below 80 points for this entire time. I would prefer 100 points, but either way, it's still the strategy still works. It just requires a lot of patience. Now on US 30, the same thing happened here. Remember when I said complete trend turnaround happens rarely?
Hmm.
One, two, three. So this was like the trend was getting weaker because if you remember from previous market structure, one like uptrend, if the high is not going up high enough, like if you see something like this where it's strong, it starts weakening like that, the buyers are getting exhausted. This is called an expanding wedge. This tells me that the trend is slowing down and there's a possible reversal somewhere.
Yeah, and then that's exactly what
Yeah,
happened there. Yeah, it weakened and then it came right back down.
yeah, but with your daily strategy, you anticipate to go up because right when market opened with this big drop to the downside, there was all this room right here of unchart of correction.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
I was it was almost a guarantee that it's going to go up somewhere in this area possible to here.
yeah. Once it's,
But I wanted to wait for the first test. See, here's the first test right here, and there was the variation. I didn't catch it because I wasn't paying attention. So I was like, okay, this is perfect. So if this price does not go anywhere close to here and it stays and it creates a new support over here, then this is perfect. I can catch it to go up. And I did actually catch this because see here are your pivots right here from the indicator you created. We had a wick down here, and a wick down here. It's been testing this entire time. And this shows sellers trying to come in. So all the sellers come in and then all the liquidity is right up here.
exactly. Yeah,
So at this third test, that's where the buy goes in and boom, it shot all the way up.
yeah. Broke right through that liquidity that you were waiting for right there from that other high.
That's the liquidity grab strategy because I look for where price is testing and where retail traders are trying to come in. Because if you look at this, it's a perfect little curve that was made.
Hmm. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm waiting for that other liquidity right there to hit too, like that middle of your chart. I'm waiting for those areas to get hit, and then I'm expecting it to probably push up at some point because, like you mentioned, there's a lot of open area right there that hasn't been tested yet, and we'll see. I mean, later on, because the Fed news is going to come out at 11 in about 3 hours or so, and I think that will give it a push because I think right now volatility is still kind of low. It's not as high as it normally is.
yeah, because normally I've seen this pattern play out where if there's a Fed speaking or anything speaking, if they're bringing it down heavy,
So they can bring it right back up.
and then because all of this is a big area of liquidity waiting to happen. Because when a range overextends like this, it's gonna break a lot heavier one way or the other.
Exactly, yeah, and that's pretty much what I'm waiting for. I'm just being
And
patient.
yeah, and based off probabilities, it's gonna go up
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
because it lines with mid market reversal. It's Powell, the money printer guy. I've seen the memes before.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Powell. I don't know if he's going to be speaking today. I know the Fed's going to be speaking. He's probably going to have some sort of statement out. But yeah, we know if he does speak, I do expect it to swing all the way back up. Probably it might even come back down and retest those lows before it comes up. But I do see it coming up at some point.
So yeah, I just mark all this because we have a false structure within this entire consolidation. What I'm waiting for is to see how big the range can get and which side it's going to break out of.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I pay attention to the wicks here, like right here. Like here's a momentum signal right here. The next candle was a spinning top. I wouldn't have entered here because it could have easily gone back up here. Because remember, it's ranging. But however, if I saw this the nice little dragonfly rejecting off of all these pivots and this area here. That's buyers trying to bring it back up, and it failed. I could have, I could have entered on the next bearish candle because now we have a bunch of buyers trying to come in and push price up. All the liquidity's down here.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, no. And I do the same thing. I prefer to look at wicks rather than mechanical bodies because the wicks, they do give a better indication as like what's going to happen next.
Yeah, tweezers, hammers, dojis, and my personal favorites are the hammers, especially when there's a bunch of them. Like if there are a lot of wicks on one spot, like I said right here, then it's gonna go up.
Mhm.
Especially if there was like a big push. Because also too, if there's a smaller consolidation like this, like let's say there's a consolidation right here, and it's just going up and down. If there's like 5-6 candles up in the top region of it, it's a squeeze play. Because if I see this happen 9 times out of 10, it's going to break to the upside and grab all the liquidity with all the sellers trying to bring it down.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No. And I like those plays. Those are like my favorite ones because when you see that thing like it shoots up, and especially if you're looking for like a high low or you're using one of the other strategies, it usually lines up perfectly when it squeezes like that.
And see here's a good play right here. See, because look, so we have a shooting star right here. So we have sellers trying to come in. They brought it down a little bit. It brought it up to down here, but then a massive revival occurred.
Oh yeah, definitely. That just happened right now too.
Because yeah, exactly. This would have been a good play right here. Because boom, it would have already hit TP if you entered on the following candle, and see as it continues going up.
Yeah, no, that does look good. That looks like, yeah, that'd be an entry actually for a pivot scalp. And actually the trend meters are blue. It's kind of hard right now to like identify like where these because the market isn't like one sided. I feel like it just keeps going back and forth before it like breaks out into where it's supposed to go. So I'm being like super cautious, especially today being Wednesday with the Fed meeting and stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
that's why I stopped.
Yeah,
Because
same here.
this month has been insanely risky.
I know, right? Yeah, I know. That's why I've only been taking like, 1 to 3 trades a day, even like a week, but they've all been hitting, so that's been good. So I'm not really in the hole, kind of just taking profits where I can.
Yeah, but this little candlestick pattern is actually a pretty good play because most of the time when there's a double bottom, the second bottom will not reach the previous low like this right here. Because especially when you had a big revival, like a big candle like here, that was trying to get rid of all these sellers that tried pushing it down. Because remember, you had sellers here and you had sellers here and in this spot right here, and they got wiped out.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Especially after just that one move.
Because and also too is one thing that I've noticed is when a trend gets overextended, usually the final candle is the biggest candle of them all. Because the bigger the candle, the more motion it gets to people.
Exactly.
And there's the double fake out. Because see, if you enter the cell right here, oh shoot, hold on. You enter the cell here, you would have got burned instantly, just like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because see, here's a little morning star right here, a little deviant version of it. I mean, you could have entered off the morning star, but you would have been in like a 13-point drawdown. If you took a 10 lot, that's a $1,300 drawdown.
Oh man, yeah, no.
Because yeah, it's a bit risky, but at the same time, we're in a consolidation, so I wouldn't have honestly have done this because me personally, I would have expected it to go up considering what's the other stuff going on. Because the lowest low is down here, and it never reached that point because the next higher low was right here. We false broke it a little bit and then came back up, retested it, and now we're shooting up. You just have to wait for those retests.
Exactly. Yeah, no, definitely. And that's why I'm looking at the other time frames before I enter that daily. because I want to make sure that it's actually going up and not pulling back before I hop into that one.
Because yeah, here's the 10-minute right here. So if anyone entered here at the opening of this candle, you would have already been in 72 point drawdown.
Yeah.
Here, let me see something. Oh no, never mind. The wick's right here. Yeah, there's about 50-point drawdown. So it's coming, if you're already in, it's coming back to break even.
Yep, it's right there.
Because that's just one thing I noticed. It has to, the psychology of the whole trend has to change. Because yeah, this right here would have been a very good one right here off the this candle here because of that wick rejection off the structure and the pivots here. I did miss that one though, because I haven't been really trusting the 10-minute lately because I haven't seen good decent results on my end for it.
Yeah, no, same here. That's why I haven't been applying the snipe as much. But today was nice. It was like I think 4 or 5 inches that they all hit, and then there's one that didn't. But yeah, it's been kind of wishy-washy for me as well. So I haven't really been taking it as much.
Yeah, like I almost took this buy right here, but it was a bit too risky because it did follow with the with all the wicks down here going with all the wicks right here, how it's just squeezing right here for a breakout. But this was a false break because it came right back down.
Mhm.
And I knew that was going to happen because it has to come back in some area right here to retest. Because this, I mean, of course, this guy overextended heavily, but it's not. But remember, complete trend turnaround happens rarely. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't happen right off the bat.
Yeah, it usually takes a while. It ought
The
to be tested.
the
Man.
psychology always changes.
Hmm.
So you'd have to wait for it to create a new low or a higher low, or yeah, something like that. Confirm whether that the consolidation is going to be made. I mean, you just have to look at the big picture. Like here's the 5-minute right here. See, this is just a choppy price action right here. So you just keep drawing the lows and highs that get established, and and wait to see if there's any like smaller structure within this being made to take it to the upside or the downside.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm doing too. So I'm going between the three and the one just to see if there's a because I don't want to just enter randomly, I want to wait for an actual entry to come up. Because then that'll probably be the catalyst to like ride it all the way to the upside.
So yeah, just to recap, using wicks as an indicator to tell me what's going on. Because see, this was an awesome fake out right here. Because when I saw this candle, I was like, perfect. Now I have an opportunity for a buy or a sell. Let's see what happens. Because usually when it tries to because usually if it because most time when it runs heavy to one side, like almost at market open, it's most likely going to reverse, which is why I get hesitant taking the breakout. But the breakout here was very nice. Because here's the thing, we had buyers come in down here to take it up, and then all the sellers just knocked them all out.
Exactly. And it broke right down. Yeah. That's why, like, yeah, for me too.
Yeah,
Today
this they call this setup here an order block.
Yeah.
So what I really waited for was the next candle. If it was some kind of a doji or a spinning top or anything like it did here, that would have been a perfect way for it to go down. Because with all these buyers right here and the sellers trying to get them out, they would have taken it all the way down here to screw them all over.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. That's why I hopped in at the end. I got like a small profit off it, but it was something. So it was good.
I mean, I didn't look at it because I mean, I've been getting kind of nervous lately. I've been trying to stay conservative, but I did take some of the good trades that we were doing earlier because I saw there were high probabilities.
Nice. Yeah. I know. And I've seen that you've been applying it like on NASDAQ as well, right? So that's been pretty good for you.
Yeah, Nasdaq moves pretty similar to the U.S. Moves pretty similar to US 30. You see, and see right here what happened. We had two wicks down here that invalidated this low right here. Because usually when a candle's way too big and the wicks are too big too, like this entire candle here was 338 points, but the body was only half of that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's way too much emotion right there. So yeah, just look for the wicks. If it's inching towards the bottom, if it's inching towards the bottom, and then you combine with the strategies that you created, that's how I can line up to get those high probability wins.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. That looks like a really good trade at the lunch market earlier. I wish I would have caught that.
Yeah, I've Nasdaq's moved a lot smoother most of the time.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start looking at Nasdaq a little bit because it seems like whenever US 30 is moving a little too crazy, Nasdaq looks like it's
Yeah,
pretty it's
yeah,
moving.
that's why I go back and forth. Sorry to cut you, but that's why I go back and forth with them.
Yeah, that looks good. So,
So yeah, like right now, here's the high right here. Here's a zone that's been tested. People trying to sell. So if we get a candle going up, all the liquidity is going to be up here.
yeah.
There's also if we have buyers here, remember it's a long extended play. I'm just looking at what's probably going to happen. If it keeps taking it all the way down, then sure, that's fine. I'll wait for it to test this area here and confirm it's going to continue dropping. But if we look in Nasdaq here's Nasdaq right now, it's 119 points in the red. So yeah, it's been staying down the entire time because Amazon and Google have been down a lot.
Yeah, I probably see it either just bouncing back and forth and ranging within that area until it's 8:30 right now. So maybe for like another hour or so. Because I know
Well,
once it because yeah, in an hour it'll be 9:30, and then the FOMC statement's gonna come out at 11. So about an hour and a half from there. That's when the I see a lot more volatility coming up.
oh, hold on, I opened up the wrong thing. Hold on, open up the wrong one. Like what I might do, I don't want to trade anymore. So what I might do is just put just a speculative sell right here because it lined up with a strategy, and let's just see if it works. Because it overextended heavily here and it's just still dropping. You see, here's the low here, came up, and see, you see the candles being made right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the
See,
wicks.
it's just holding right here. Like it's just holding here. Because if I was to make an EMA, oh shoot, I forgot I haven't made the EMAs yet on this one. But wick up here, yeah, sell down here, but more buyers trying to come in. Little wick right here. So yeah, it's just slowly moving down. Honestly, I could have caught the sell right here because I saw it was going to do that, but I've seen it happen where I've done it and it just goes up. That's why I wait for it to close. That's why I combine your strategy to confirm it.
Yeah, and that was a better confirmation because you saw it break and close below the low, and then you also have those wicks that you're looking at where it's rejecting off, pushing into the downside.
So yeah, just for shiggles, we're going to see if this plays out. I mean, it's gonna go up and down.
Yeah,
Let's check right here, see what's going on. Because yeah, all this is uncharted territory right now. So it most likely it is going to go because remember how this got overextended here? From here to here, it took an hour and 20 minutes for it to come back to this low right here. So 9 times out of 10, it's going to hit. And boom, it hit.
yep, yeah, played out nice. That was a high-low entry, and then it also lined up with your
Yeah,
EMA.
it lined up. Just pay attention to just pay attention to the candles. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, that's why I look for 5 candles. Because shooting star right here, just a hold right here. If I was to draw an EMA, I probably would have seen it's trying to respect the EMA.
Yeah, it probably would have lined up.
It's all about seeing where price is reacting.
Exactly, and I think it probably would have lined up with the pivots as well. So it would have been like a really nice rejection off, and I think it did. Yeah, off your I did right there, so you can see right at that
Now,
point.
unfortunately, you probably wouldn't have taken it because the last signal was right here.
Yeah, it wouldn't have lined up, but it would
Yep,
have lined
look at the chart.
Yeah,
It was reacting to this pivot the entire time. It actually came up here and then faked it out. So this would have been a strong confirmation that it's gonna go down. So with that, I probably would have entered right here and then took it down here.
exactly. And
But
I would
either
have
way, the strategy played out.
yeah, it played out perfect because right there's a low. I would have waited for that to close. I would have just waited for the better confirmation. But if you got in earlier, you could have probably doubled up on that one.
Yeah, and look, the same thing happened right here. Because here's a little fake out right here. Because anyone tried to sell right here and chase that move, they would have gone up here and then got screwed. So with
Yeah,
this false signal here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, technically this is 5. This is 5 candles after the push back up, and then boom, right here, nice little signal. For Nasdaq, I do 250 because if it comes up to here, it would have invalidated that strategy.
yeah.
But
It's a
yeah,
bigger push for Nasdaq.
yeah, exactly. Because but at this time we broke out of the flag, fundamentals were still to the downside. So with all that, I would have probably entered this sell right here in a quick 100. It would have gone back up a little bit, but I still would have been confident would have hit.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. And then, yeah, with the confirmation of the high low, that's like even 100% confirmation right there. Yeah, that was perfect entry. That was perfect. You spotted like right on with the
Yeah,
with
because see here was that previous swing low here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seven
yeah, right
candles
there, yeah.
here. It's respecting the pivots. Push to the downside, enter this candle, and just let it run. And there would have been the take profit right there. It would have teased it a little bit, came up a little bit. But usually with a candle this big, I usually would try putting a like a buy limit at like maybe the 40% mark. But considering fundamentals and all that were down and everything else lined up, yeah, I still would have put it down here. Because I was kind of confident it was going to go up or go down.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
pretty solid.
strategy works very well. That's a quick 1,000 right there.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
think I'm
just,
gonna start using that as another confirmation for the high lows because the high lows they do hit pretty often, but when you use that EMA or the pivots where
yeah,
we jump off of that,
I use the pivots and wait for like wicks. See right here and right here. It did it twice. Here and here.
yeah, it's a perfect drop. It's like a waterfall basically. It just curves up and waterfalls down. That's pretty good. I don't really.
Because I also combined with the because I also combined it with the
Fit.
with the Fibonacci as well.
Yeah.
Because usually the blue and the green area is what I most likely look for. Because see now price reacted here, so here's another structure it could come back up to. So this wick here came back, this candle here came all the way up to this area right here and rejected right off of it. And it closed within the pivots too, so it didn't close above any of the pivots. So
Mm-hmm.
strong rejection candle. So this is a higher probability it's going to continue going down. Because
Yeah.
this was a lot of buyers trying to come in and buy it from down here, and now
Yeah.
they got burned.
Man, that'd been horrible for people who are looking the other way. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's something I'm definitely gonna take a look at when I'm looking at the high lows now, because that gives a good hint as to like that drop is probably gonna happen next. Or like even if you're like just waiting for a high low to come, you can just look for those wicks to see when it rejects off the pivots, and then it's probably gonna come right after, just so you can anticipate a lot better.
Like even something like this, a little overextended going up, it's just inching, and then a nice little shooting star right here, right off of this same spot right here. I mean, this wick didn't touch this one here, but it did continue going down because there's the signal, little push to the upside, order block made, goes down, wicks back, buyers trying to come in, and then they just got burned again.
Yep. And that looks good.
However, I still wouldn't have taken this because it was a consolidation, because this was a smaller consolidation and it could have gone either way.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Because now right now we're at a critical point here. We're at the double bottom here. So now momentum looks like it's going to start slowing down to the downside. So I would wait to see how price reacts here. What I would anticipate is it to come up to maybe this New York spot here and then continue going down, or it may continue going up.
Yeah, no,
Because right now this is a key spot right here, this area right here.
yeah, that range right there is a pretty big range. It's been stuck in there for a while now. It's like nearly an hour.
Yeah, I hadn't even looked at the chat yet to see if anyone's been saying anything.
Let's see. So let's see. It's just Rick. Rick said, where did it go? Did Rick just delete his message? Let me see. I can't see. Oh, Rick said when Paul moves the chart around, it reminds me of drinking and trading. Let's see. Yeah, no, but this is going to be saved. This is going to be reported. So if people want to go back and rewatch it, I think we should be good. I don't see anything else here. There's no other questions. Chris is asking, would you set the buy stops at those highs? Not necessarily. I wouldn't. Would you, Paul?
No.
Yeah,
No.
you need a confirmation.
I don't really use the buy stops and limits that often. like I'll use it if I see the price action telling me it's gonna go up, and then like a candle that's way too long where it's gotta come back down, I'll put the buy stop. But one of my most favorite setups though, if there's a strong candle to the downside or the upside, and then I have two wick based candles like two hammers, because
Mhm.
that was the last trade that I took that passed my verification. Because I was actually in two trades. I was in the snipe because it lined up, and I was also in a pivot scalp. So those two trades all hit TP, and that's how I was able to pass my verification.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, and that's a good pattern too. It's a good reversal pattern. Or like in a situation where like price kind of pulls back a bit, that's where I would put like the buy stop. If I already see a position, but then it's in some drawdown, where I see it swinging back up. And I think that's it for the questions. I don't really see anything else here, but yeah, I think everyone's kind of yeah. Talanji said definitely gonna watch this back, but he half gets it. Yeah, yeah. No, because we went through this pretty quick. Yeah, and Paul's been doing this for a while too with his own with his own analysis. And this is good, guys. So like this is always key that you guys use multiple analysis. Don't just use what I'm teaching you guys. Use what you guys know, like because it um it makes everything make way more sense, especially how you've been looking at it, Paul.
Yeah,
Did
this chart's kind of off right now, but if I could turn off some of the indicators, you can see it's a perfect setup. Like here's something more clean. See, here's the flag play right here. It comes all the way up to here, and then if I see like a break out of it, I can also enter the sell right there too, because it lines up with fundamentals. It lines up with it also lined up with a sentiment, because at the time I looked at the sentiment, it was 55% long.
oh, okay, okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, I see it
Yeah,
break out. I saw it break out of here because see, look, we had two green candles trying to come up to here because there was probably some buyers trying to draw. They were trying to draw this trend line, and when I saw it break below, I wanted it to confirm. I wanted to confirm it, so I waited for it to come down here and break past this previous low here, and it did. And so enter here, and it goes down. I mean, I could have taken it the rest to the downside. Like, let's look at the 5 minute and look at the momentum, see what happens. Yep, see right here, this would have been a perfect entry off the 5 minute too.
yep. It broke right
Because it
below
get,
it.
yep. What I usually do is just if I see this and it lines up nicely, I could just take it to the previous low. So if it hit here, I would have just left it alone, because it tapped it once and twice, try to come back up, and then just broke through and stopped out all the buyers trying to get there.
Yeah, no, that
Because
would.
people are always trying to draw up those support and resistances. So I wait for the test of those spots, and if it price breaks below, I go in for that sell to catch that liquidity, because
Exactly.
that's my liquidity grab strategy, and it's
Yeah,
been working insanely well for Nasdaq.
yeah, it looks like it because it's been a lot more directional compared
Yeah,
to US 30.
exactly. Nasdaq's been a lot more directional because right now it's down 1.02%.
Yeah, Chris is asking if you're drawing those yellow lines. Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
believe so, right, Paul?
these yellow lines, I mostly draw them only on the 1 minute. I don't draw them on the higher time frames.
Yeah, Chris.
All these were just previous highs. Like I'll get rid of them because right now they're invalidated.
Hmm. Yeah, those lines he's drawing are just they're just horizontal lines, similar to like what I draw too with my blue ones.
Okay, like let's look at it live right now. Like, because we broke out the flag, we got all new liquidity down here. So now I would wait for the liquidity hunt to stop, and I would wait for some kind of consolidation to happen, structure to be created. Because right now trend meter is red. So if we get a buy signal here and then the sell signal here that confirms downtrend structure, then I can go in for that. But I'm not going to be trading for the rest of the day. I'm just going to goof off for the rest of the day.
Yeah, no, same here. I'm just watching. Yeah, I'm watching the charts and I'm looking for any possible entries for like the daily, like late entry. But I think I'm just gonna sit out the market because the market is it's gonna start to move kind of weird. I think as we get
Yeah,
closer to the
but
Fed.
but listen, guys, I do need to be honest with a lot of you guys at the moment. I actually haven't been doing very good because my emotions have been going kind of nuts lately, and I'm actually very close to losing the account. So I had to take one lots to kind of see if I can get myself back up. So I had wins. I did have wins today, but I'm trying to stay as conservative as I can because I do not want to lose this account.
Is it
I have been applying your strategy though, but again, my emotions my emotions have just gone through the haywire because I've had one time where everything did line up, but it wicked up so hard, hit my stop loss, and then it dropped. Like I've been having that happen so many times often.
Oh, exactly. And yeah, and I've
It's
seen it. Like,
and that's just because of the high volatility going on. So my recommendation, guys, just if volatility goes too high, it doesn't hurt trying to lower your lot size a little bit and then increase your stop loss. Remember, the higher the volume, the smaller your stop loss. The lower your volume, the bigger your stop loss can be if you can afford it.
definitely, yeah, 100%. And that's good. It's good that you're smart about it. You're not just trying to YOLO it out, because I see a lot of people, they get close to losing their account and they try to go for that one trade to bring it back and it doesn't work out. And it's just, it's
No,
just
I'm gonna have to be patient because right now, I probably mentioned in like maybe a month, 1 month ago, ball season's over now. Like there's no more games, no more tournaments, anything for Top Gun. Because
yeah.
that's the company who I umpire for. And plus, I actually stopped early because my anxiety has been affecting my stomach, and I've thrown up 4 times on the ball field.
Oh man, no, yeah. Health's gonna be key for you. So definitely,
Yeah, I'm going to talk to my doctors about getting a stronger anxiety medicine because after I took a hard loss today, it started I actually went to the bathroom to throw up because my anxiety
uh,
started getting it because my mom has that same problem.
yeah, yeah, no, definitely, yeah. That's why,
But
like,
yeah, but yeah,
even me,
so yeah, well, sorry, but I'm
I
on
don't
a,
know.
I already have a plan for my recovery. Just stick with the one lots, try to get to $2,000 above the max loss, and then increase the loss size by half. So I'll start going to 1.5 and just slowly try to get it back to where I want to, where I'm more comfortable with taking maybe a 5 lot. Because I have the $100,000 account, so the 5 lot would be my normal for both US 30 and NASDAQ.
Yeah, no, and that's smart. You got to keep it low until you bounce back to, like, close to break even. Then you can start using normal lot sizes. But yeah, no, I don't have bad anxiety, but when I do, like, lose a trade, it does ruin my day. So I usually, if I lose a trade at all, like, whether big or small, I just take a break, because that's the thing. If you lose one trade and you start revenge trading, that's when things start to go bad. So you
Well,
just
I wasn't revenge trading. I was still trying to stick to the strategy, but after two losses, I'm like, fuck this, I'm done.
yeah, it just takes over. I know. I get you. It clouds your vision, and then you're not able to see what you're looking for.
So yeah,
Yeah, but yeah,
so
no,
yeah,
definitely.
so yeah. Word to everyone on my own experience. Always stick to the strategy. Do not get greedy, and use a lower loss size if you have to.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with using a smaller lot size, especially if you're trying to recover your account. It'll take some time to recover it, but it's better than
Yeah,
losing it.
it's gonna take a good bit of time because my plan was to move out of my parents' house in March when ball season starts back up because I've got debt I'm trying to pay off right now because I've blown 9 FTMO accounts trying to get this. I finally got it once because I actually had a funded account before and I lost it, and I realized I got lucky because I was mostly trading foreign exchange.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah,
But yeah, right. Yeah, two trades that were lost. I didn't realize I breached the max daily drawdown, and that put me in a downward spiral. And
yeah.
that was June of 2020 when I got the account and lost it. So I finally got one back after a year and a quarter.
Yeah, yeah, no, and that was during the summer. So you said June, right? So the June, yeah, the market during that time, especially for the forex market, is not. It's just not even there. It's like, so the volatility
Well,
is low.
at the time Trump was still president, so volatility was still a
Oh,
little
you're so
higher
right.
because
Yeah,
anytime he
yeah.
said something good, like like him as a person, I don't get involved, but him as a person, he is pretty damn arrogant. It's just because he says what he means and he means what he says. But he is a very smart businessman. I have to give him that. He's
Oh,
very smart when it comes to business.
definitely, 100%. I agree with you.
I mean, you have to get be realistic, everybody. You have to give credit where it's due. Always humble yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm think I'm gonna be done for here, man. So if you want to take back over, go on ahead, man.
All right, for sure. Yeah, I'll take over right now, and I'll just close it out, and we'll see what goes on from here. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Paul, for covering this and going over everything. You're definitely, your strategy works really well. So we're definitely going to be maybe using that as another confirmation when it enter trades, but definitely great work. So yeah, definitely great work, guys. Other than that, guys, going back to the daily, I just want to show you guys it's back in profit right now. Looks like it could be a good a good push to the upside right now, but this is a huge candle right here. I'm seeing if there's any other entries that were available. Nah, nothing yet. Unfortunately, this didn't close above it. If it closed above it for a high-low entry, that would have been actually really good. But currently right now, nothing available. So yeah, guys, I think that's it. We've been on the session for a lot longer than we normally do. We've been on this for almost 3 hours now. So if you guys do have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I think that's it for right now. If you guys do have questions, feel free to email me, message me on Telegram, anything that you guys need help with. But for now, I'm going to take a break and then I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit, whether I decide to take this daily or not. I missed the, well, I didn't miss it. There's just no entry that's available right now. But if I do see something that's good, then possibly. Although there's actually a 3-minute here that came up earlier the daily. Yeah, that would have been a good one because you could have wrote it all the way up. It's all good though.
I still personally wouldn't have taken it. Yes, I know I'm still on the mic, but honestly, I would recommend nobody really taking it because this range is too much. I want to try to come up to the Tokyo line and close above it. That's what I would personally want it to do.
Yeah, no, same. I'm doing the same thing too. I'm looking for that because the last thing you want to do is enter it, gets the Tokyo line and just reverses on you, which could possibly happen. Yeah. So other than that, guys, yeah, have a great rest of your morning. If you guys do decide to trade, like with whatever you guys learned from today, always use proper risk management. Always remember to move your stop loss and profit when it needs to be. But yeah, guys, have a great rest of your morning. And if you guys have questions, I will